When we think about Alzheimer's, we used to think about it as this sort of linear, well, now, you're diagnosed with it late in life, and it's sort of looked at as a simple, like your brain is deteriorating. We don't know why. It's an idiopathic, etiology, or IDK, which we used to joke in school stood
Yeah,
for I don't know, right?
right, right.
And I like in the book how you distinguish between a simple disease like a pneumococcus or a staph infection or something versus Alzheimer's, which is multifactorial, multilineal, there's this additive cumulative effect that happens over time. Can you maybe describe how, in your opinion, Alzheimer's is different from, let's say, a pneumococcus infection?
Yeah, that's a great point. And this is one of the major problems, and one of the major things that's killing so many of us now is that we've not been taught in medical school. We haven't distinguished between the diseases that were killing us in the 20th century, which were mostly simple diseases, things like, as you said, pneumococcal pneumonia, tuberculosis, diphtheria, polio, all these sorts of things. These are simple diseases. You have things, and I made the example in the book, of pneumococcal pneumonia, where, yes, it's important what your glucose is. It's important if you've got poor B cell function, poor antibodies. But more important than anything else by orders of magnitude is the pneumococcus itself. So we've gotten away with, over the years, as doctors, just targeting that one thing. Now, it's completely different when you look at Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's takes years to develop instead of a few hours. And instead of having one thing that's more important than anything else, there are many different things that each contribute. So whether in fact you have insulin resistance, whether you have ongoing toxic exposures, whether you have specific oral bacteria that happen to have gotten into your brain, whether you have the inability to clean up your A beta, I mean, on and on and on, whether your hormones are low, whether your nutrients are low, whether your trophic factors are too low, all of these things will collude to give you this disease. And therefore, when we try to target it with a drug, we say, well, what's the target? Well, in fact, there are many targets. And therefore, you'd have to have a drug that would do dozens and dozens and dozens of different things. So I actually think in the long run, the drugs are going to be very helpful, but they have to be given in addition to a background program that is actually targeting the things that are causing it. Then you'll really be able to see. So this is why we tell the patients that, imagine you have a roof with 36 holes, the drug is a wonderful patch for one hole, but it
Right.
doesn't do anything for the other 35. So you really have to get those. Then you can see that, in fact, yeah, that last hole, really important to patch. And the other thing we're going to see, of course, is going to be new drug targets as we understand more about what's actually driving the process. Things like, antifungals are going to be important when you've got those exposures. Things that get after specific proteases and other products of some of the bacteria and things like that. Things that support your insulin sensitivity. All of these things are going to be important targets for cognitive decline.